Hello. All right. I'm gonna get started here in just a second. I'll probably turn down the music. I want it to be background music, not drowning me out music. Happy Wednesday. Back in the driver's seat. All right, let's see. Let's go ahead and get right into it. All right. So, anyone that was here last stream, if you were excited to see the continuation of that one piece that I was working on, I'm sorry to disappoint. I had other ideas, so we're gonna switch it up. If you weren't aware, I do have sort of I guess you could call it a pet project. I don't know. It's more of an in joke with some friends that I just decided to run with, but it's it's called Vermin Collective, right? And it's because we're just kind of all a bunch of gross little creatures. And so we were like, oh yeah, we'll just refer to ourselves as, not seriously. We don't do this in public, but as a joke, we'll be like, hey, it's Vermin Collective, because it's like rats and raccoons and opossums are the three primary constituents. And so, for whatever reason, whatever compelled me to do this, I decided that I was going to make designs to put on t-shirts, which I have on Redbubble if you want. I don't know. I just decided to do random little like paw print logos for each of the constituent animals. And I've been wanting to do more designs in that sort of vein of things. Not necessarily just doing like paw print stuff, but doing more like thought out designs, more intricate stuff, you know? And I wanted to do, with the intention of having these be, again, available on like a shirt. I wanted to do designs that were sort of evocative of like like religious iconography, but with, you know, gross little creatures in there. And so I think the first one, because it is my favorite of the three, I wanted to focus on the opossum today. And I wanted to do something sort of reminiscent of like not quite Byzantine, but that kind of like old Christian art where you have like figures and they're in, you know. Here, I'll show you. I have this open. I can just show you. Canvas. I would like it to be symmetrical, please. At least for this part. So, if you imagine, we have... Why did it do that? We have this lovely sort of... God damn it. Sort of Gothic arch type thing up at the top. And then obviously we'll extend this to the bottom. Right? And then within that, I was thinking... okay, so I'm going to make another layer. I'm going to move it down. I said. Thank you. And then, so I have this first layer. I have the second layer, which I'll drop the opacity on because this is going to be my like measurement layer. Because I want to do this sort of the old school way for some reason. Don't ask me why. But I don't want to like measure this out in something like Illustrator. I want to just, you know, do this as though I had a ruler, like just a standard straight edge and some angles, some basic angles. So that's all I want to do here. So if we do that, I can then extend this line because this will help me sort of gauge. Come back up here. Come back. Oh, didn't do what I was hoping. Actually, there's probably a smarter way to do this. Here. Do another layer. Turn on the assist again. And then I will copy. Except it'll fuck up and do that thing again. Why? Stop doing that. All right, we'll edit this arc so that it matches. Right? You see where we're going with this? All right. And now I don't think I needed to actually turn on mirroring, but oh well. Or the assist. I didn't need the assist on because eraser, please. Thank you. Because now what I can do is I can duplicate, flip it. Let's turn on magnetics so that everything stays lined up. And it turns out that that guideline didn't really matter anyway. Cool. Oh, well, this is not architecture. It's goofy memes. Merge that down, duplicate again, and then from there, look at that. Great. Okay. Merge that down. Make that opaque again. Ugh. All right, come back in here. Run that layer. So this will be our reference here. Let's see. So if I wanted to do, come in here. Let's say I wanted to do something like merge that down. Add another layer. Assist on. All right, so, and this one will also be low opacity because more referencing. So I just kind of want to block out what I feel are like the midpoints here. Straight line, please. Thank you. Because now I can come in. Done with that. Well, okay, let's... There's always more overthinking that can be done. So let's say, what happens if we draw a box here? Okay, it's not square, but no matter. Circle. We'll put that there. All right. And so then we have these points here, here, and here. So those are points that I want to, okay, see, this is evidence that I don't actually know what the fuck I'm doing. I'm just doing this purely based on vibes. What if we just do this? Edit the ellipse. Sure, that's good enough. Does that look good at all? I don't know. No, it doesn't. Okay. Tell you what. Ignore all that. We're doing this live. Okay, so what if we do something like this? And we try to make all of these points tangent to those lines. That looks a bit better. I think that looks a bit better. Will it actually make it to the final vision? I don't know. But let's see. What happens if we just start copying these over? And we turn off the the reference layers. Do we think that looks okay? You think that was okay? I don't know. Actually, oh well. No. Okay. No. Okay. I've decided against it. We're making great progress here. So far, we spent, oh god, 10 minutes, 15 minutes, and I've undone most of what I've done. It's great. I'm great. I'm great. I'm fine. I'm cool. Anyway, because I want this design to be like very printable, like very graphical, like stark blacks and whites, you know? So what happens if we just start messing around? Well, let's say I want that circle. I want a big old circle. like there. Does that feels all right? That feels decent. And then from there, let's see. I have to recall in my mind an opossum. It's very pointy. So we get, if we do like something like this, like we get the opossum. And we do something where like it's got its creepy little fingers right here, but they're doing like the it's doing like the hand of benediction, and then we got more creepy little hand like right here. Right? We gotta have like the fingerless glove look. I don't. Oh yeah, that's fine. Okay, it's just a bit distracting. I'm forgetting why I put the circle there. Because opossums have very sort of flat slopes on their heads. Like there's not a whole lot of like ups and downs the way that, say, like dogs or rats do. Although even rats are fairly smooth on their snout. Oh, and we gotta have like the overly stylized like gross tail. Right, something like that. Probably should have done this in pencil. Oh well. It's not too late to switch, but I'm too lazy to switch. That's what it is. Let's move that foot. I don't like where that foot is. So we have one foot right here-ish with more gross little toes. Fortunately, most of their like body is just fuzz. So like you don't actually have to capture a whole lot of detail in it. You just kind of imply that it's there, and you can kind of get away with a lot. Like that tail's not really coming out of anywhere, but these toes are going to be, again, just sort of popping out of the fuzz. And very gross. Yeah, I think the rest of the lines here are getting distracting. What if we just turn those off? Get out of here. Circle. Yeah. Get out of here, circle. I don't need your reference right now. Yeah, why don't I just pull up a picture of a possum? Why don't I just do that? Yeah, give me a picture of an opossum. Ah, that's what I was missing. That's, yeah. Yeah. Okay. So I was a little bit off on the whole head slope thing. Their head is kind of round, and then it comes down and then back up. But it does the swoop in pretty early. So they have this really long taper. And then the mouth actually. They got the nose, which almost goes directly into. There's not a whole lot of space right here between like the top of the snout and the beginning of the mouth. And then they got these weird like cheek pouches. And then the tongue gets all bunched up in the back of their mouth when they're hissing. And then you don't really see much of the top teeth except the two canines. I like how I started the stream off saying that I had like ideas and I'm already kind of waffling on them. That's good stuff. That's what you want. Yeah, right now I'm just looking at references of opossums. And then it's okay, so this bit, the fuzz around the face kind of comes in right by the eye and starts to go under the chin, which again is very thin. Just overall thin features. There we go. I think it was a lot of it was in the eye. And the ears. The ears needed to be more prominent. All right, we're figuring it out. We're getting there. So let's just so that anyone joining knows exactly what they're getting into. Okay, so if that's our sort of general shape, sort of there's a fairly strong like triangular theme with the opossum, you know, this sort of repeated triangle form that we're seeing. So maybe we can play into that a little bit. So, okay. All right. I'm liking where this is going. This is developing well. Let's clear out some of these other lines. Yeah, because they got gross little rat tails. So yeah, I think if we go with, let's see, we can obviously do vertical and horizontal 90 degrees. From the corner we have 45. Looks like that might be a 30. Yeah, those kind of look like they might be. Well, no, is that 30 60? Is that 30 or 60 or? Well, this angle and this angle are definitely not the same. You know what? I don't know what those angles are. This is something that should probably happen on the reference layer. But I don't know why I said but. All right. Go away. Okay, so from here we have our 45. We have... That looks like 30. So if I do this, right? Is that not an equilateral? It kind of looks like an equilateral. So I think that is a 30. So then the question is... Okay, that might be 60. That might be... Is that like a 15? It kind of looks like it. Yeah, I think they're just 15-degree segments. Because those look all fairly even. I mean, as long as once you remember that they're not perfectly centered on each other, because, you know. Okay, so let's really dim that down because it was getting distracting. Okay, so that's our sort of our general vibe, and I'm sure that that's looking really good on stream, being all washed out like that. But we're gonna get to it. I don't know why I made a new layer, especially just because I'm coming back into an old layer to do more laying out. Okay, so if we have that as our frame, actually no, extend that all the way out. Oh, did we do that almost exactly right? Well, not right, but did I get that almost perfectly square? if I did, that's awesome. Because that actually makes... It'll be helpful when it comes to plotting out stuff. Okay, so we have this sort of midway point. If we make that a 45, that can be our reference for like the angle of the snout and all that. We also have... Yeah, that'll be good. That'll be good. Because we also have this diagonal right here that can be used for laying out like the tail. I honestly didn't do this on purpose, but the body sits really nicely up against that center line as well. So, okay. Let's see. When their mouths are open, are their top and bottom of the jaw kind of almost parallel? Almost, yeah. So, if we do something... Let's see, that's the center of our square. What happens if we... Or no, go this way, because there's already a diagonal there. Will that make the head too small? I think that'll make the head too small, because possums have big heads. They got big heads. Okay. And the line for the neck honestly kind of cuts in almost vertically there. Could do something like that. Could stylize that. I feel like probably the best way of handling the teeth will be that, you know, if we have the overall like fill of the opossum design be black, we'll also have some sort of adjacent negative space that we can then cut in with white, so we can use some of that negative white space around it to be the teeth. I think that'll look kind of neat. So this line, where's the halfway point for that line? Right there. That actually works pretty well. Okay, let's come back to the opossum layer. Okay. We're going to turn off snapping. And then we're going to warp so that I can kind of massage all of these elements into place. Or would it be better to do this with like liquefy? It might be better to do this with liquefy, because I think right now it's affecting too much stuff. There it is. Yeah, we can bring the tail in like that. We can extend this curve of it further down. Bring that up a bit just so it has more of that pronounced S. And then, ooh, that would actually be, that actually kind of works. Okay, so if we move the hand, preserve the mouth, just the hand. Because we can do something where come back in here. I'm going to do this one in pencil now. I've learned my lesson. Amazing. Do I use technical pencil? Oh, it's because I'm still... Okay, yeah, okay. There we go. So yeah, if we keep it so that it does sort of... I'm trying to think how to break this down into geometric shapes, right? Round that off. Okay. Yeah, I'm seeing the vision. I'm wrinkling my brain. Okay, and then we have gross paw right here, but I think that I want there to be... Let's come back to our reference layer. All right, how do I get to that point? I can draw that line. And then I can bisect this column. And so that would put a... Come back. I wanted to adjust that circle. Circle. So that would center it right on that point. Okay. So then we can adjust where the paw is sitting, because now we have it referenced geometrically. And can do something maybe funky with the fingers, where if you come back here to liquefy, to start pushing this paw where I want it. Obviously messing it up in the process, but just to get the idea across, right? We can have it where the index finger. Okay, so if we have the paw sort of right here, we can have it where the index finger is still coming out at a 90 degree, or at a 45. The thumb is coming out at the 90 vertical. And then these three are coming out at the 90 horizontal. And it'll be really sort of stylized. I think that could be cool, because it also speaks to sort of how weird and fucked up opossum hands are. Maybe we'll have both the middle and an index right there, and we can cut that down to just 2 over there. Again, fingerless gloves. But then this paw line comes down, or the arm line comes down at 90. Flatten out. I think we could do a half line. I'm doing reference lines in the drawing layer. Fuck. This is all primaries anyway, so it doesn't matter so much. So we bring that line down. That will be where the shoulder connects. We'll have the fluff come out, back in, and then out again, and then it'll sort of tuck under, and there will be an extra bit of fluff to suggest the leg. Am I in the wrong layer again? I'm in the wrong layer again. Oh, ooh. This is what happens when I'm trying to be artsy after the day at work. So, okay, let's just do this as straight lines. Yeah. Yeah, okay. So we're just gonna, okay, let's just block it out perfectly geometrically, like straight lines and all that good stuff. What line can we make that? Ooh, that's the trouble. Okay, maybe for the mouth we get a little lenient on it. Because that one can be good. What about the bottom of the chin? Can we get a good angle on that? No! We can't. Okay. So it's only around, like a little bit around the mouth. At least so far. Okay, and there will be curved lines on this because we need them for the tail. Okay, what the fuck? It's not even close. That one's acceptable. I can work with that. Acceptable. Just shift that over so that that lines up. All right. And then, okay, so if we have this as, you know, we got, right, doing like the Sacred Heart thing. We're getting a little blasphemous, but don't worry about it. Instant ZZZ, thank you for the follow. I missed that in my feed, but thank you. Just saw it. And then this, yeah, then this paw over here will be the it looks like he's you see it a lot in sort of middle age Christian art where people have like they have their thumb, and then they've got like two fingers, and then they have the other two fingers kind of just hanging out, kind of like that. You'll see a lot of people making this gesture in sort of middle age Christian art, and that's called I believe that's called the hand of benediction, right? And I want to do something similar, but have it be a gross little opossum paw. So where will that get placed? Oh no, opossums have like a weird like dip in their neck, don't they? Yeah, that looks better. Okay. Okay, so if I put that there and just extend that line down, we can erase that. Yeah. Okay. We're honing in on the the target here. So, okay, let's go back to our reference layer, draw more lines. Okay, so if those go there, we have our midline right there. We have this nice section right there. And honestly, that lines up. Didn't even have to do that much work to find a decent line of fit. Spoken as if we're doing math here or something. Which I guess we are. Geometry is math. And we're doing shapes. Now, what the relation between these two circles is, I don't know, because it doesn't line up on any of these lines, but whatever. Okay, come back to this, where we have something like that. And more fuzz. All right, and then this arm will come in like that, and then cut in. Yeah. We're getting somewhere. Doing something. I don't know, it continues down a ways on a lot of them. And then there's like that sort of like shading pattern. Although I'm not really planning on doing any like variance in shade. Like I want it just to be kind of a black and white. But if we're embracing the fact that this will involve arcs and curved lines, I say let's just lean into it and put a proper curved line there at the mouth. Because one, it looks more natural. The canines falls like sort of back here. These ones are right about there. Well, they kind of splay out, so there's that one and then this one. I can't really see any central teeth on the bottom jaw to speak of. Yeah, I don't really see them. So, okay. So opossums just sort of have like this weird... Erase the section of the lip. Like the lip just kind of happens. Like it just sort of sits right there. It's weird, but that's just how it is. That one there. So that way from here, you have sort of the rows of teeth and then sort of an amorphous back of the mouth. But I feel like that's pretty good. Oh, so what happens if we move the eye further up? That looks better. Yeah. Yeah, I like that better. Nose kind of comes down like that. Kind of does like a weird twist up there. Okay, so what happens? I don't know. I don't know what I was thinking, but maybe we don't go geometric. Maybe we just embrace the swooping lines and we stick only to swooping lines. That's another way we could take this. Because I want the lines to be fairly uniform in stroke. So okay, what if we do this? Let's make another layer. Excuse me. I believe there's something exactly what I need. Where is it? Monoline. You. And then how much do you smooth? You smooth pretty well. Stabilization. Yeah. Yeah, I like that. And then we'll come back and add some more of the details later on, but this is getting the overall kind of look. Because I might thin up some of these lines more. Especially around the paws. Let's see. Yeah. I don't know. How am I feeling about that? How am I feeling about that? Okay. Let's just do something crazy. Does it look any better reversed? No. No, not really. And I've also feel like it's lost some of the opossumness. Is that purely from not having the teeth be shown? Or what is it? What is it? What it was about if I turn all the other layers off? I think it might just actually be the teeth, which is kind of crazy. The fact that it can look so different just whether it has teeth or not. I think that's kind of wild in terms of like design. Maybe monoline wasn't what I needed. Maybe I needed something. Okay, so right now it's at 26% stabilization. Because I like how much this one I can vary the stroke width. Oh, that's streamline. It has no stabilization. What if I... Okay, what the fuck is streamline? Is that... Is that different from stabilization? Taper. Give it more of a taper. I don't know. Right now I'm messing with settings. I don't like that now. I mean, it's very smooth now. Which is kind of nice. Okay, maybe I just need to get used to it because I was having trouble getting the pointy end of the taper. Getting the pointy end of the taper to actually point in the direction I wanted. So maybe... is Streamline doing that? Or no, it's kind of a combination of both. So Streamline seems like it keeps the taper pointing more or less in the direction I wanted. Okay, maybe this... Okay. All right. Ignore that one. Actually, just clear it. Clear. Okay. Okay, I'm liking that. That felt good. I undid it for reasons, but it, you know, felt good overall. Not bad. That's not bad. If we can just connect it like that. Hit it with that. All right. Good. Good, good. Get that. Went over a bit. We can clean that up. Clean that up later. Because as we've learned, we need the teeth in there, otherwise it doesn't look like an opossum. Now, I need to make sure I actually do the hands well, because so far I've done them all sketchy, and I've not actually just done a clean pass of the hands. And the whole point of switching to this brush is that I wanted it to be specifically clean. But with this brush, I can get some of that scruffy nature. I can capture some of that. Okay, the vision has shifted a little bit from when we started, but that's all right. Rats are trying to get in the office. Except they're too chaotic. This is why I shut them out. But obviously this was no good for them. This does not compute with their plans. Okay, let's stick with the original plan. So the thumb kind of like that. Okay. Okay. I'm seeing it. I'm feeling the flow or something. I'm feeling it. I don't know. Ignore me. I mean, don't. I want you to watch the stream, but ignore the rambling. Okay, so we have the thumb going vertically. Got those two. And then I feel like this one, most of the weirdness is going to come from there. I like how my artistic style has changed about 5 different times over the course of trying to figure out how I wanted to block out the lines on this. Which is cool and helpful and cool. Except that's a lie. It's not helpful. Get rid of that just dot. Those lines can go away. Honestly. Yeah, I still read plenty of opossum. Because they just got a ton of like loose skin, as a lot of animals that size do. So they end up just kind of as bags with feet. Now, can I get a good picture of... Right, they have those weird thumb feet. I've been doing the foot all wrong. Okay. So it should be like... like 4 toes like that, right? And then they have like this one weird like thumb toe that sticks out to the side. Let's see. Mm-hmm. I think those toes need to be bigger. Not looking to bring in the weirdos, but I think the foot just generally... Here, let's clear up some room. Let's get rid of those lines. Because overall, I think the foot is good. I just think it needs to be larger. Yeah. Because then we got the weird... thumb toe there. We'll definitely have to come back and redo how we've done the head, because I think I'm liking the more detached line look at this moment. So Because I also didn't get any kind of scruffiness on the head either. Like, if we get rid of this line right here. We'll not get rid of it, but we come back in, we go, and then this sort of line that frames the face. Yeah, come back in. Okay, now, this might be a strange question, but maybe the head is too big. Let's see. Is the head too big? If we come in here. Okay, I think that is a better sized head overall. Which means then we can bring that in a bit more. And we have more space for the hand as well, which is nice. And then, as you know, pulling, well, not really pulling, the title of the stream. I titled the stream specifically because I wanted to do the opossum. Because I wanted, that should be all caps. Vivo. For the text, I will probably end up typing this. He do scrim. This is true. Hey Beige, welcome. Eat. How are you? Welcome to the stream. It has been a while. I finally got my my setup revamped. So yes. Yes, I am, I guess, the Bionicles guy. Just switching it up for the moment, getting back into the swing of things. This is only my second stream since getting the new setup. And I'm assuming the quality is far better than it was trying to stream on a laptop that was far far below what it ought to have been technologically to do that. All right, fair. I will accept the moniker until you find another Bionicle artist streamer. I suppose I can't really argue with that point. How many of those could there possibly be? So I will accept that. And still fully intend to do more Bionicle art. Just today was an off day. I had other ideas, like drawing an opossum. Oh, the text in Latin. This is part of a sort of far too long drawn out in joke between me and a group of friends where we've embraced the fact that socially we're all just like gross creatures. So together we are the Vermin Collective. And as this joke has gone too far, we've done like mottos for each of the the vermin represented. So for the opossum, the one I went with was it's Latin for "I live, I die, I live again," which is appropriately melodramatic. If you know your opossums, witness me exactly. Except it's fake death. And I've never seen an opossum spray paint their mouth with silver paint, but they do like to pretend they're dead a lot. And then oh god, I don't even remember. Yeah, the other vermin represented are raccoons and rats as as just sort of generally held nasty little guys, but we appreciate nasty little guys in my friend group. So, but the idea for the broader idea for this piece of art was that I wanted to make like almost fursonas. Yeah, they're not quite fursonas. It's more just wouldn't it be funny to embrace the fact that we're just kind of gross. We're critters. But this project that I decided all on my own to embark upon was creating yet more art, but this one kind of riffing off of like religious art in terms of its look and feel. So I originally was thinking, how do I get like a stained glass looking opossum? It's why he's doing the hand gesture. He's gonna have like light rays and stuff coming out here. We love just a little bit of sacrilege. But unfortunately, I will have to be ending stream. Exactly. Fellow ghost listeners in chat, fellow ghost listeners. I will have to be ending stream in just a minute here. But I am so glad to see people actually coming back in, because I was like, oh god, I had a, let's say, modest audience to begin with, and I was gone for over a year. So if everyone's moved on by then, it's gonna be just gonna be me by myself. Yeah, you too. Thank you for coming by. I don't have a schedule yet because stuff is still crazy, but I'm planning on still doing more sporadic. You know, when I get a moment, I'll duck away and go, ooh, that I'm streaming now. Hurry up and get here. You know. So yeah, if you get the notification, feel free to jump on in. Always happy to have you. But but yeah, we'll continue work on this on and off stream. So if it looks remarkably different next time you see it, then that's why. But yeah, thanks for coming by. Anyone else that might be lurking, thank you for coming by. And then yeah, that's about all I got. So I gotta hop off because I got stuff to do around the house. But nice to have you all, and then keep your eye out for when I go live again. Have a good one.